Oh man, do not let Nick Cage see this cover or he is going to have some serious flashbacks. I'm talking about, no, not the bees, they're in my eyes, What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today, we are going to talk about this newest album from Tyler, the Creator, called Scumfuck Flower Boy. Now, Tyler is the leader and co-founder of Odd Future, a hip-hop collective coming out of California. And the first time I really heard anything by him was when he dropped that Yonkers video. You know which one I'm talking about, the one where he's eating the damn cockroach. So this song was actually the single off of his debut studio album Goblin, and I'm not too familiar with that project or his Bastard mixtape because it wasn't until his second album Wolf that I really sat down with a project of his. I can remember not being the biggest fan of Wolf or his last album, the experimental and alternative hip-hop release Cherry Bomb, but in spite of myself not being a big fan of his music, I've always found Tyler, the Creator, to be a very interesting person. He certainly works hard, does a lot of things, including television and clothing, and he damn sure has a lot of personality and humor as well. So even though I don't really like his music that much, I'm always curious to hear what he's going to do because he's been known to switch things up and come with different styles. And once he dropped that single Who Dat Boy featuring A$AP Rocky and some nasty ass bass rolls, he immediately got me interested in this album. That song there just had a very accessible sound to it, and on the outro of this single, there is also a little clip from 911 Mr. Lonely, a track that was very funky and soulful. So again, this caught my attention because these two sounds were very different, and I wanted to hear what this project would sound like. You do get another banger called I Ain't Got Time, again with some very nasty bass rolls as well as some pretty dope hand claps throughout it. But aside from that song and Who Dat Boy, most of this album is very smooth and mellow. I actually felt like you're getting a little bit of an enchanting and whimsical feel here because of the strings, bells, piano, and breezy vibes throughout. It's all just very relaxing, and it is a damn far different sound from what he had on Cherry Bomb. And on top of all that, you're also going to get some great vocalists on here, starting off with Rex Orange County on Forward. I just thought his vocals on this were very beautiful, and this album acts nicely as an opener because it really sets the tone. Here, you just have Tyler getting very introspective as he deals with his insecurities and just wonders how things are going to change as he moves forward in his life and also in his music career. This is actually a theme that reoccurs and goes on throughout this project because once the song November comes on, it's the same sort of thing. He's just dealing with his insecurities while reminiscing on a better time. He's actually using the month of November as a sort of high mark, like that's the point where he remembers things being very good is back in November. So I thought this was a very interesting topic for him to speak on because it seems like throughout this album, as you listen through, he really is digging deep and dealing with some personal issues because even though he has all these things, like he has a lot of money, he can do whatever he wants, he can buy things, he can go here, he can go there, he still is not fully happy. You just really pick up on him feeling bored, lonely, isolated, lacking inner peace, happiness, and strong relationships. Man, someone just got to give Tyler a hug after this shit. The previously mentioned 911/Mr. Lonely has him lamenting that he's the loneliest of them all because he has found himself, but not the one. And then on Boredom, we're obviously getting a track about how bored he is. As I just alluded to a little minute ago, he's rapping about how he's bored despite all the money he has. He doesn't have any of his friends around. He can go places, he can buy cars, but that does not guarantee strong relationships and happiness. So to hear this content coming from a young, black, successful, rich man was very fascinating just to see how things aren't always gravy when you're at the top. I also need to point out how great the vocals are from Rex Orange County, Corinne Bailey, and Anna from the North on the song Boredom. And I damn sure love the way this beat builds up. You get some very gentle guitar on the intro, and then the percussion and the light keys kick in. There are just so many damn beautiful moments with the production. See You Again is another one that had a little bit of a neo-soul vibe to it. And Where This Flower Blooms actually reminds me of some NERD, mainly because of the piano style and also the percussion style. So production-wise, I thought this album was dope as fuck and was really on point. And even the rapping throughout is pretty strong. I've already touched on some of the content, and it really does leave you with something to think about. So I think he did a very great job with this album. It's very damn cohesive as far as the sound goes, and the themes really do tie together, all this boredom, loneliness, isolation, and sadness. But coming back to Where This Flower Blooms, we're getting some vocal work from Frank Ocean, and Tyler is just rapping about self-love and acceptance. There's actually a really good line on here that I wanted to write down where he says, "Tell these black kids they can be who they are, dye your hair blue, shit, I will do it too." I just thought he was really nailing that whole idea of self-love and acceptance because Tyler himself has been known as a weirdo. I mean, you look at Tyler and how he dresses, you look at his comedy style and some of his videos, he's definitely a very unique individual. So I thought it was great how he's speaking on this because he's certainly in that position to do so. He might be able to relate to people out there who have struggled with their own uniqueness and just accepting who they are in a cloud of people who have that sheep mentality and sort of follow in line with what's cool and what's popular. I know other artists have touched on all these types of topics before, but I just thought this was a very unique road for Tyler to take because he is coming with a unique sound and he's also tying in some really dope-ass concepts. For example, on the song Pothole, you're going to hear him rapping about his life as if it's a road, so you're getting these driving and road metaphors as he spits about some of the obstacles that he faces in life. Stuff like fake friends, you got your fickle fans, and that sheep mentality. So this is another song that I really liked because the content went quite deep and it ties in with everything happening on this project. But one of the main topics when it comes to this album seems to be Tyler's sexuality. And why are people talking about that? It's because on the song Garden Shed, he very clearly is rapping about hiding himself away and sort of coming out. Now, whether he's trolling or coming out for real, I don't know because it's Tyler, the Creator. But either way, his sexuality doesn't really mean anything to me. It's not going to change how I feel about him or his music. And you will hear some more of these little lines and tidbits throughout this project. I mean, damn. Even on the song I Ain't Got Time, he says that he's been kissing white boys since 2004. So obviously, you know, he's got some shit that he's trying to say here. I don't know if it's for real or if it's just Tyler trying to make us all talk about it. But my overall point is, who really cares? I mean, whether he's gay, bi, straight, or whatever, this album is fire as fuck to me, and I'm definitely going to be listening to it. However, I still gotta say Garden Shed is my least favorite track. Not because of that content, but just because the beat was kind of slow, dull, and drowsy. It didn't really do too much for me, although Estelle did have some great vocals. So, as I said, the vocals throughout this are great. Even Tyler, the Creator himself, is doing a bit of singing throughout this project. I wouldn't say his vocals are amazing, but they often fit in with what he's doing, and he's usually helped out by some of these other guest vocalists who carry some of those notes. But either way, I gotta say, this is my favorite Tyler, the Creator project by far, man. I love the sound, I love the themes, I love the cohesion here, so I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 5. It does have a couple moments I didn't really care for, like Glitter. This is just sort of your basic lovey-dovey track. Didn't have too much to say about it, but it sounds alright. And the Droppin' Seeds interlude just has Lil Wayne gleefully dropping some sex puns. So, you know, that wasn't anything special, wasn't all out awful, but I didn't feel like that was really necessary on this album. If you're not a fan of Tyler, the Creator, up until this point, you really should check this album out because I was not into his music, but I definitely love this album. But that's all I gotta say about this album, so check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comment section. You also want to make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you check out my pages, click like, and pass them on. Show me love and show me lots of it, people. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.